One of the most overlooked communication styles in professional settings is the clash between inferential and literal communication. You know how you can say something that seems completely clear to you, yet the other person completely misunderstands you? When a manager tells a direct report, let's make sure this report looks polished by tomorrow. Someone who prefers to listen more literally might hear what their manager said and think to themselves, oh, I need to check for typos and font margins. But someone who prefers to listen more inferentially might hear what their manager said and think something completely different. They might think they need to redesign the entire executive summary and add deeper market research. Now, this is really important. Neither person is wrong. They're just using entirely different mental filters to process what they're hearing. Someone who speaks more literally will speak directly. Now, if that person speaks to someone who listens more inferentially, and the two do not understand the dynamic between their two communication styles, that could increase the likelihood of problems in communication. Here's another example. A client asks, is this project on track for Friday? Someone who listens more literally hears a simple yes or no question and answers yes. But someone who listens more literally might think they're not asking about the calendar. They might think, oh, my client is anxious and they're asking for reassurance and that all risk has been accounted for. But if you're not aware of how your client prefers to communicate, you won't know what answer to provide them. And it's not your job to change them. It's your job to understand how they communicate and communicate with them accordingly. If people consistently misunderstand you, it may not be because they're being difficult. I'm not saying they're not being difficult. That is a possibility. But instead of jumping to that conclusion, consider that your communication styles aren't matching. Shift from inferential guessing to explicit parameters. Swap out vague requests for measurable criteria, or switch whatever you need based on the person you're communicating with. When you learn to identify how someone communicates and you have enough flexibility to match your communication to their preference, it is a game changer.